You find me out here this afternoon on the Somerset Levels on a beautiful sunny day. So I'm taking my hour of exercise on my bike, and I thought I would bring the camera along and show you where we are. I'm now about just under 2 miles outside of Glastonbury, and this field that's just coming into view from the right here is the site of what was Glastonbury Lake Village. The village, which existed on stilts in the water, was pretty much where those trees are you can see in the distance over there. So a quick stop by the side of the road here because we've come across a pillbox. Just having a look inside. And it's by the side of one of the drainage ditches. These drainage ditches run across for miles, carrying the water away. Without these, I'd be standing underwater. Another feature of the levels are these paths which run between the fields, often straight as a ruler, often for several miles. And there's one going off down there which heads off across the levels there. The drainage ditches that we looked at earlier on are controlled at various points across the levels by these remote stations. You can see the motor which controls the paddle and the receiver at the top, and this is all controlled from a central office miles away from here, where the levels of the water across the entire area are constantly monitored, and these gates are opened and closed in order to keep that level constant. We've now reached the Marshes Visitor Centre out here on the levels. We're about 3 to 4 miles from Glastonbury. This would normally be where I would stop for a cup of tea and a cake, just over there. And you can see there's a lot of experimental archaeology going on. They've built a Roman building together with a Saxon hall. And over here, they're now building a roundhouse to replace an ancient roundhouse that used to be on site. We have now arrived at the Shatwick Heath Nature Reserve, which is a wetland preserve for birds and animals. Also the site of the Sweet Track there. The line you see running across there, the purple and blue line, is the Somerset and Dorset Railway, which forms the backbone of this and Ham Wall Nature Reserve, which we'll visit later. Like everything else on the levels, straight lines rule. As you can see, the line of the track is straight as an arrow through here. To the left, you can see this wet drainage ditch. This drainage ditch was originally the Glastonbury Canal, and the railway ran alongside the canal pretty much all the way to the station up there in Glastonbury. This is one of the many lakes formed by digging of peat on the levels, which are now part of the Wildfowl Trust area. You can't see them, but there are many birds and things that flap and squawk and hoot and do various other noises. I know absolutely nothing about them, sadly. No, the aliens haven't landed. This is the latest hide to be built out here on the levels. And very nice it is too, although closed due to the situation. Okay, so now we're now on the RSPB section of the walk, Ham Wall, and this is one of the observation stands that has been built. This area in front of me here is where in the spring and in the autumn the starlings murmurate. If you've never seen murmuration of starlings, then look it up on Google because it is awe-inspiring. Out here there are millions and millions and millions of starlings all flying around together at once, creating weird swirling mass of movement. It's just incredible. You have to see it to believe it. And that brings us back to Glastonbury. There's a tour in the distance, and you can see the village or the town nestling in the bottom left hand there by the church. And here we are, back in the centre of Glastonbury.